Today's guest is a supporting sponsor of Liberty in Finance.
Welcome back to Liberty in Finance. We're glad to have a returning guest whom we met at the Rule Symposium on Natural Resource Investing in Boca Raton, Florida. This is Joaquín Marias. He's the CEO of Argenta Silver. He's joining us this Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Joaquín, thank you for coming back on Liberty in Finance.
Thanks to you, Donovan. I'm very pleased to be back and, this time with plenty of news to tell.
Yeah, that's why the timing of this interview is fortuitous, because when we met at the conference, you and your team informed me that you had a very active drill program going on in a very fertile region in Argentina on a very promising resource, but that you couldn't speak in detail about the results until they were finalized. And it sounds like we have not only those geological results, which are quite exciting to reveal today, that just came out on a press release, but also some new financial participation by investors that just got released as well. So we have two main kinds of news that we'd like to hear from you. One is about the private placement, and another is your drill results. You want to tell us first about the financial placement that's just been announced.
Yes, of course. So, yeah, indeed, it's not only on the field that we have been very active. As you have seen me in the conferences, and probably much of your audience have seen some of my videos and they have seen me around. We are also very active on the marketing field and on the corporate side of things. We have been trying to promote a lot this project, trying to educate the people. For us, education about this project is very important because it's a project that was abandoned for a lot of time, and it's a project that it's very important. It's a project with a lot of potential. So that's why we are now doing that educational process, promoting the project around and showing people what is this about. So yeah, the news are fantastic. We got a bond deal a week ago, and this Tuesday we closed that bond deal. The bond deal was for $15 million. The strategic shareholder that we have, which is Eduardo Elsztain, he decided as well to do use of his pro rata right. So he did an investment of $2.5 million. In total, we are talking about an investment in between the bond deal and the placement. We are talking about $17.5 million coming in. We already have in the treasury $8 million. We are always talking about Canadian dollars here. So this is putting us in a very, very interesting position now. Because in Argentina, we are just about to coming into summer season. So the summer in Argentina, or the summer season in Argentina, it's in between October and April. With this money at hand, we can develop what we had been planning to develop, which is approximately between 10 to 15,000 meters of drilling. We will always also have some treasury or funds to keep going along the year. So we are very happy to get those news now out and to feel that support. You know, Donovan, it's interesting because plenty of institutions came with the bond deal, lots of very good retail, and it's very much aligned with what we are looking for. We are looking for high quality, long-term investors. This is a project that will take time to get bigger, and I think that the more we explore, the more we do, the bigger and bigger it will become. And that's why we are looking for long-term, high-quality investors. And there it is.
When we met and brought you in front of our audience for the first time at the symposium, we reminded everyone that the only exhibitors at the symposium, the companies that we were bringing forward, were ones that have already been vetted personally by Rick Rule and in which he has invested. And he's a very legendary investor and one who looks carefully at the companies. And you walked us through several factors: the extremely mining favorable jurisdiction in Argentina and the support you get from the local authorities there, as well as at the national level, and also with Milei's new program that's helping to fast track new mining starts and that kind of development of their economy. We also talked about the resource itself, how it's a previously proven area that has known a resource there, but also that you're continuing to redefine through your ongoing drill program, expanding the resource. And if you could talk to us about that, because that's another part of a new press release that just came out yesterday, your exciting drill results.
Yes, of course. So just to put in context to everybody, this is a project that is located in the Salta province, which is one of the most prominent jurisdictions in Latin America. The government and the communities are very familiar with mining because this has been the heart of the lithium triangle for many years. So that's why the people and the government are very used to mining, and the project has an immense amount of infrastructure externally and internally. So I think that we were talking about this last time, that there is a railroad, a gas pipeline, a road that it's going to be 70% or 75% paved, and all that it's external infrastructure that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and we have them there just laying at 3 kilometers from camp. So in front of camp we have this gas pipeline, the railroad, and the road, and at 18 kilometers we have a high voltage power line that it's connected to 2 solar farms. So we don't need to build that infrastructure in the future if we want to develop this. Plus 60 kilometers of internal roads, a camp for 100 people, and a lot of more infrastructure that we have inside, that it's allowing us to work very fast. It's money that we don't need to spend on those things. So it's a cost that we are saving somehow. And this is great because the financing that we just did, this bot deal that came to us, it's a happening that money, it's not going to go into roads, it's going to go mostly into drilling, right? So it's a huge advantage. And part of that philosophy that we have, that it's advancing this project as much as we can, and doing it by steps, right? The approach here, it's a strategic approach of going step by step on a very methodological, systematic way. We want to be very intelligent with this. So the news results that you saw coming out yesterday, we are very pleased about that because we are posting an all-time record-breaking result. We intercepted 40 meters with 1,026 grams per ton of silver, but in those 4 meters, there is 1.05 meter with 18,467 grams per ton of silver. So that's an all-time record-breaking result for El Quebar. We are talking above the 18 kilograms of silver in a meter. And we are also disclosing a successful up-dip hole. So if you allow me, I want to explain what we are doing here.
Yeah, please go ahead. And that's a lovely thing that happens. And I appreciate that when any of our guests will give me and our subscribers a bit of an education, it makes us better potential investors. So that helps a lot. Thank you.
There are 2 things in this project. One, it's the resource that has been very well drilled. And the resource that has been very well drilled, it has 90% of the resource indicated, and a 10% it's inferred. But that represents only 2% or 1% of the property. Then there has been a little bit of exploration on the adjacency of the resource, and all that constitutes only 3% of the entire property. So 97% of the property, it's completely unexplored. And that's what we call the exploration side of things. That areas that we need to go and learn if there is something else. So the approach that we are going to take, it's a dual approach, very balanced in between what it's resource expansion and exploration. So in terms of resource expansion, what we have been doing, it's if you go through the previous technical news release from almost a month ago, you will see that we had been drilling in the resource and trying to expand the resource with step outs. So we post before successful step out, which is telling us that the resource, it's still open on the sites as we thought. And now on this news release from yesterday, what we are showing, it's this very, very high grade result of 18,000 grams per ton. it's actually, which is in those 40 meters, right? Those 40 meters of mineralization, it's a drill hole that has been drilled in between two drill holes that are historical, and they are separated by a gap of 60 meters. So we are filling with this drill hole that gap. So it's telling us that that gap, it's a drilling gap, not a mineralization gap. This drill hole is telling us, hey, there is mineralization, you should infill this in the future. And maybe we can include that in a future resource update. The other drill hole that we disclosed yesterday, it's an up deep drill hole. That means that the resource, it's coming up like this, right? It's a bit tilted, and there are no more drill holes in between the end of the envelope and the surface. What we did is we drilled there and we hit successfully mineralization. That's telling us that the resource might continue up deep. So with all this, we are proving that the resource is still open, that the gaps that we have seen in the 3D model are not mineralization gaps. Those are drilling gaps. We need to drill there. And all this means that we can expand or increase the resource that we already have. The exploration side of things is something that we are not going to leave behind. Now, at this moment, we are drilling on the exploration targets. And these exploration targets, some of them are new, but some others are historical exploration targets that haven't been properly followed up. We will move in a concentrical way from these targets to the outskirts and then to the completely unexplored areas. That's the strategy here. That balanced approach in between expanding the resource, which is the sweet spot that we have, and trying to discover another one out there in the exploration side.
This process can go on for some time, and the ability to fund that is exciting to hear that you've strengthened your balance sheet and your treasury with a private placement and a major investor sale as well. It bodes well for your ability to continue to execute on this aggressive exploration plan going forward. We will be excited to continue to help you as a partner to get your progress reports out to our audience of potential investors. Rick Rule continues to visit us about once a month here, continues to educate us on the general market direction. He has been telling us that he sees great things ahead for the silver metal market and therefore the metal miners, the silver miners as well. It sounds like it's going to be a very interesting and exciting and potentially rewarding time for those who are participating and following his lead by learning more about exceptional companies like Argenta Silver. We're for sure going to put the corporate website in the description of this video, as well as links to your 3 press releases that you just came out with in the last 2 days, so people can take a look at those to their heart's content. Is there any other advice that you have for potential investors at this time who want to find out more about Argenta Silver?
Well, I think that the most important is to see our share price, how it has been performing since the inception of the company. So just to have an idea, we created this company in October last year. It's not even a year so far. The company has had over 300% upside. So when you see this organic growth reflected on the share price, it's somehow reflecting something that people don't see, which is all the internal work that we are doing, which is a very hard job that our teams in Canada and Argentina are doing. And we are working towards organic growth. This is a very big project. It's a project with a lot of potential. And this organic growth, it's actually reflected on our share price. And I hope that at some point people have more chances to learn more about all the work that we are doing in the field, which is awesome. And the work that we are also doing on the financial side. So far, it's a company that has a very healthy financial situation. And in the field, I think that we have top quality people working with us that are completely aligned with the objectives of the company. And everybody's thinking on the long term, on bringing up and awakening this project that has been, sleeping for so many years.
Well, Joaquin, we're excited that you're here. We're grateful for this update that you brought. And I really appreciate also, just so everyone knows, Argenta has decided to partner with Liberty and Finance to keep the news flow coming here and that will be able to keep bringing that forward with you, and alerted me this week about these press releases. That's why we jumped on it and got them on. We'll do that again when there's more news to report or any more of this investor education that would be helpful so people can make better informed choices as prospective investors. And we remain in your corner here, helping to bring this news out. It's interesting because we just spoke with Rick yesterday, and he reminded everyone that in a typical bull market for precious metals, which is what he foresees for the next several years, he says even in a bull market, the major players, the biggest names out there that are proven producers that all the big funds are already invested in, can easily become doubles of the increase in the precious metals price. So you can get, as the precious metals prices go up, you can see that the major mining companies might move up at twice that rate as the metals themselves, the underlying metals increase. He said, but junior miners or ones that are in exploration and development stages, if they're the best ones, can be rewarded even more. You might see 3 or more X times the increase in a rising metals market as the base metals themselves rise in nominal terms. So it proves to be exciting times. It is not a time for throwing darts at a dartboard, but following a well-seasoned investor like Rick Rule is what we're trying to do here, and make sure that we understand his thinking and the key factors that he looks for, and to find that needle in the haystack, and make sure that we find the right companies to bring in front of our audience. And you're part of that. So thank you, Joaquín Marias, CEO of Argenta Silver, for joining us for this quick update on your latest news releases here on Liberty and Finance.
Thanks to you, Donovan. Appreciate that a lot.